See that green arrow there? That's a sell signal. See that green arrow there? How about the orange one? These are all buy signals. It's the brand new The Study Trader Indicator, and it's almost ready. Man, it has been such a crazy week. I've been working nonstop. Last night I was up until about 4 in the morning working. I'm tired, but I have to get out. All right, that feels better. Now I can tell you what I've been working on all week. Aside from educating my students, having a very busy trading week as well, I've been finally putting the finishing touches on the first ever The Study Trader Indicator. Now, the Study Trader Indicator is extremely powerful, and it's going to be available in about 2 weeks from now. I'm sure you're going to hear about it. For now, what I'm going to tell you, this indicator could truly change the way that you trade and invest for the better overnight. So that's all I'm gonna say for right now. This indicator has been in the making for several years, and I'm just now finally getting ready to release it. Okay, so now as far as the markets are concerned, there's a couple things I want to quickly talk about. First of all, Twitter, this morning, Friday, September the 23rd, there's news out that potentially some suitors are getting more serious about potentially buying out Twitter, which is something I've been discussing for some time. I just made a video on this in August, so just a few weeks ago, discussing that the path of least resistance for Twitter remains to the upside. And Clubhouse members this morning are making a lot of money, so that's a really, really nice trade. Possible suitors anywhere from Facebook to Salesforce.com to Google, all sorts of people apparently not coming out of the woodworks and wanting to buy Twitter. Twitter's right now, as I'm recording, is up about 22% or so, as you can see. And so what I want to quickly go through is that the technical analysis picture that I've been laying out for a couple of months now, and specifically once again in August, has been kind of telling us that there is something at work here that that keeps this stock afloat. So specifically at the time, what I discussed was very simply the fact that we started breaking above some trend lines. So that was the easy trade. The easy signal. Then there were other horizontal support areas, previous support, and then became resistance. Those kind of things started overcoming as well. And then more specifically, the real biggie, the real big signal was when Twitter, after its latest earnings announcement that was in July, the stock dropped right after earnings, and then it literally took a few days, and the stock was right back on its feet and right back to those highs before that, where it was at right before earnings. To me, that was a real key signal. Also from a technical perspective, the stock at the time actually ended up holding a lot of support. We had an inverse so-called island reversal where the stock had gapped down in April, then back gap higher in June. That held as support, that area that used to be basically used to be resistance and then became a support. So this whole reaction, the way the stock reacts to the news, which is more important than what the news actually is very telling. And the fact that the stock after earnings then rallied back quickly was a telling sign. Now that you can see the stock is higher. The IPO price, so you know, for the stock, I think was about $25, $26. To me, it would make sense that the stock would roughly, well, I guess the actual pricing, IPO price, not the actual, where it opened. So to me, it would make sense that the stock doesn't get bought out below 26 bucks. That's kind of, basic, simple math. That's number one. Twitter, that's what's going on. I think the stock will continue to work higher. It could be choppy. For those people that have been long, like myself, I'm taking some profits this morning, but I'm going to continue to have some sort of an involvement in the stock for the time being. That's number one. Number two, real quick, on bonds. I've been talking about this now to Clubhouse members for some time, and I do think that bonds, as represented by the TLT ETF, which is our longer-term bond ETF, you can see that this week we continue to hold trend. And we are now seeing a bullish reversal on a weekly basis. For all I know, as I'm recording this here, the week hasn't quite closed yet, but this to me is a pretty good setup. So getting long bonds here in price terms seems to be something that, from a technical aspect and for a trade, maybe get the TLT back up into the low 140s here does seem to make sense. So that's what I'm going to go through here with you guys. I hope this all makes sense. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week. Man, it's amazing what a 30-minute bike ride can do.